Oh, forgot the light. Must have the key lights. All right, what is up, everybody? Baloney is late. I'm a crafting him right in the Nick Sanchez. So there you go. We will talk about that in just a moment, but I do want to get through the preview. So, in the last 7 races since February of 2020, your best average finishers have been Kaz Gralla with 1 race at 6.0, John Hunter Nemechek, 1 race at 8.0, Eric Jones, the first driver that has run all 7 races at 8.7, Ryan Blaney 9.3, Anthony Alfredo in 2 races 11.0, Denny Hamlin at 12.0 is technically third of the drivers in this race. And then there is, let's see, William Byron at 12.4, Brad Keselowski at 13.1, Kevin Harvick 14.6, Young Todd Gilliland 14.7, Chase Elliott 15.0, Chase Briscoe 15.2, Ross Chastain 15.4, and Ryan J. Newman at 16.0, Bubba Wallace 17.0. Let's go to previous winners. On the previous winners list, you've got 1, Kyle Busch. Would be interesting if he pulls it off again. Bubba Wallace Jr., of course, also a previous winner. Ross Chastain, Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney. So that's right. In the previous 7 races, we've had seven different winners. Top 5s, 3 apiece for Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, and Brad Keselowski. So if you're doing the top 5 bet from MGM or whatever site for entertainment purposes only that you're going to, those would be the 3 I would look at. If you're doing top 10s, Eric Jones has 6 top 10s out of 7 races. I would have to say he's pretty good here. Let's see. Kevin Harvick has 4. Denny Hamlin has 4. Ryan Blaney has 4. Then with 3 apiece are Chris Buescher, Chase Elliott, Michael McDowell, and William Byron, as well as Brad Keselowski. Let's go to laps led. Laps led with the preponderance of the laps led here. Ryan Blaney, of course, we know he is good here. Denny Hamlin is second with 129. Joey Logano third with 101. Bubba Wallace at 82. 75 for Chase Elliott, and 72 for your pole sitter, Eric Almirola. Pretty much all of those, I think, was that time that all 4 Stewart-Haas cars got in line and just pulled away from the field. 71 for Eric Jones. William Byron, 64. Ross Chastain, 52. Kyle Larson, 43. Kevin Harvick, 43 as well. I think that's your top 10 as far as that goes. So let's go to the average rating here. And if you go by average rating, Ryan Blaney is going to be your favorite, and Eric Jones is second, followed by William Byron, Bubba Wallace, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, Kevin Harvick, and Cole Custer. Cole Custer in 6 races here. Got a good, strong finish, although he's not in the race. Just wanted to throw that out there. Kurt Busch would be in here too, so that factors well for the 23-11 game. All right, let's see where BetMGM has the lines. And if you bet one, this is the race that you want to bet. Brad Keselowski is your favorite, but he is plus 1,000. Joey Logano, 1,100, as well as Ryan Blaney, 1,100. So Team Penske, 1,100 there. Denny Hamlin, 1,200. Bubba Wallace, 1,400. Chase Elliott, 1,600. Chris Buescher, 1,600. Kyle Busch, 1,600. William Byron, 1,600. 1,800 for Eric Almirola. Kyle Larson at 2,000. 2,200 for Seabell. Martin Truex Jr., 2,500, as well as Ross Chastain and Tyler Reddick, as well as Alex Bowman, Austin Cindric, Chase Briscoe. Then the 3,000s are going to be Eric Jones, Kevin Harvick, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. All of those are good. Those are good picks right there, in my opinion. Let's see. 3,500 for Ty Gibbs, Michael McDowell, and Austin Dillon, as well as Ryan Preece. And then you got old Suarez down here at plus 4,000 with old Josephus, who starts last today, at 4,000 as well. They had some kind of ignition problem, I think. I don't think Josephus even turned a lap. Then AJ Allmendinger at 4,500, LaJoy at 5,000, Justin Haley at 5,000, 6,000 for Harrison Burton and Todd Gilliland, Riley Herbst at plus 8,000. Really good qualifying effort for Riley Herbst. I think he was 6th or something like that. And then you got Chandler Smith at 10,000, and then you get the steep odds here. So if one of these guys pulls it off, somebody's going to have a great. JJ Yaley Ty Dillon, Brendan Poole, and BJ McLeod, all at 35,000. So there you go. There is the preview and the lineup. Here's your top 10 starting order. I don't think they had any practice because I didn't see any practice time. So Eric Almirola, I know they didn't have practice actually. Eric Almirola, Joey Logano, Chase Briscoe, Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski. Oh, wait. Is that the lineup? Okay, so Herbst did 6. I thought Herbst was 5th. So here we go. Eric Almirola, Joey Logano, Chase Briscoe, Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski, Riley Herbst. Good qualifying effort there from Riley Herbst. Austin Cindric, William Byron, Bubba Wallace, Ryan Blaney, and who is my pick to win the race? Pick whoever. It's a plate race. So just whoever survives and has the fastest car. Let's see here. I guess by the numbers, it would have to be Ryan Blaney. So Ryan Blaney gets this one. Let's see. Juan Camillo says, by the way, we have a poll question up. How long should NASCAR suspend Crafton and Sanchez? 1 week, 2 weeks, the rest of the season, or no suspension? Right now, no suspension is leading the way with 54%. We will get into that, of course, probably as soon as we start talking about comments. So let's see here. Start off with, let's see here. Glad says, or Nick Sanchez, him right in the Matt Crafton, a.k.a. kick him in the rear. Laughing my butt off, says Glockenpuss. The Fords are looking stout. So, the Fords are looking really good today. So, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Dude, I thought Riley Herbst was going to get the Cup Series pole. I was hoping he would because that would be a cool story. He can still get the win, though. So, he can still go in there and disrupt things. I would have gone nuts if he had. Good morning, Kyle and the BB family, says One Wise Guy. What's up, One Wise Guy? Bumblebee says, hey, Wise. People ragging Deegan for hanging at the back all day and getting a finish. How many times have we seen that strategy? Kevin Harvick and Martin Truex Jr. used to do it all the time in the Cup Series. So it is a strategy, and I don't necessarily hate on it, but it's one of those things. Hey, B beat me to the punch there. Anything to hate on her? Yeah, some people are just obsessed with hating her. She's just one of those drivers. She's fallen into the Denny Hamlin, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Larson. Some people are just, as soon as they hear those names, they're immediately triggered and they go into hate mode. Those are probably the drivers, at least as far as this channel, to get the strongest reaction in the comments. Hey, EB, says One Wise Guy. EB and Wise Guy. What's up, says Mark Barnum. What's up, everyone? Happy race day, says Say Kyle. What's up, Say Kyle? Mark Barnum, it's a 50-50 gamble strategy. Good for her, but still lucky. I mean, they're in as far as finishing well in a plate track, or a super speedway as they're called now, it's always going to be some luck involved, no matter what strategy you have. You can have the perfect strategy and still get caught up in somebody else's nonsense. Archery elk season's over here in Colorado, so I'm finally glad to be back. Says Ian Fisher. So, hey, there you go, doing some bow hunting. I hear you, buddy. One Wise Guy. I'm really pulling for Brad K to get that win today. He's got strong numbers here, so he's definitely going to be a factor, I want to say. Of course, luck plays into it, so if he can make it through all the wrecks and all that stuff. I wonder if it's going to be like a really boring first 2 segments and then they get wild, or if just the whole race is going to be wild, or if it's just going to be, sometimes they're just all boring, like everybody just gets in line and rides. I doubt that'll be the case today. I'm just wondering if it's going to be wild the whole time, or, what's going to happen. I got Brad Keselowski, Bubba Wallace, Chris Buescher, Kevin Harvick, Reese Downs Jr., and Ty Dillon with the garage pick. Ty has the second highest average finish here. 14.0 for him. Not necessarily a bad pick. I like your strategy there. I like your thought process. What was up with Bubba moving his hand during qualifying? They lost like 2/10. So he was trying to there's a gap in the window. He was trying to get his hand out there to block that gap because apparently that's worth a few extra tenths. You'll see Ryan Blaney do it from time to time. I've seen Ryan Blaney do it before. There's several others I've seen do it too, but Ryan Blaney comes to mind because he always wears the white gloves and you can see him do it. But yeah, there's a gap between the window and the window net, and he was trying to block it to get the air to go over it a little bit better. So glad to see Harrison Burton re-signed. It's nice to be able to count a single car spin to help your favorite driver get some adjustments every other week. Harrison Burton hopefully has a better season next year because he's another one he's just always going to be on the hot seat. He's going to be one of those dudes I feel like that's always on the hot seat. Howdy from the Great White North, says Robin Marks. What's up, Robin Marks? What's up, Canada? Shaw Jr. Pull that strategy the same way many times, and everyone was good with it. Martin Truex Jr. I think is what Mark was saying. So for sure, Martin Truex Jr. tried that all the time. Nothing against it, says Shaw. Dale Jr. I guess you're saying. So you're talking to Shaw. I I got you. Nothing against it. Still a 50-50 though. Yeah, they're all. I mean, everything at a super speedway is 50-50. There is no real strategy at a super speedway. We've seen the guys hanging back there get taken out. We've seen the guys running up front take each other out. It's always a crapshoot. There is a lot of skill involved to it, but you still have to make it through the wrecks. Thoughts on my lineup, BB says, say Kyle, saving some starts. So I'm running this roster. Got Harvick, Keselowski, Buescher, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, and Michael McDowell. That's a pretty solid lineup. I don't have any tweaks to it because here's the deal: it's Talladega. Any lineup can be good or terrible. You don't know until that big wreck happens. So we'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, as far as average finishes, all those drivers have really good average finishes here, according to since 2020, I should say. Imagine thinking Harrison Burton is going to be a contender with a team that has 5 wins total since 1987. Yeah. So all the people that want Harrison Burton out of that car, let's consider how well the car is done. And you can't count the time that Ryan Blaney was in it because Ryan Blaney was bringing in so much money that they were getting actual Penske stuff, not Penske hand-me-downs. I don't think that alliance is as strong as they make it out to be. I love seeing Moffitt get the win yesterday, being an Iowa boy, says Mark Barnum. That was pretty cool. I can't remember the last time that he won. I think if it was early in the season. But yeah, always cool to see him win because he's basically he's always very underfunded. Haas has some speed this week, says one wise guy for sure. They've done their homework and they got the cars ready for this one. Bumblebee, poor Wood Brothers, the biggest case of rose-colored glasses in NASCAR. Yeah, everybody thinks that equipment is way better than it is. All right, so let's get to since it is the poll question, I guess I should address it. So Matt Crafton and Nick Sanchez get into it on pit road, depending on whose story you believe, because we don't have any evidence, but everybody's taking Sanchez's word for whatever reason. But we don't have any evidence of it. But so Nick Sanchez, so the wreck on the track was basically just a racing incident. There should have been no fight. So once again, don't fight. It's NASCAR. Don't fight. So that's going to be my stance on it because fighting is stupid. But the racing incident on the track was just sort of a nothing burger in my opinion. But Matt Crafton took it personally, like the old Michael Jordan meme. I took that personally. So depending on whose story you believe, Nick Sanchez's story is he came up and sucker punched him. I think Matt Crafton's story is he came up and Nick Sanchez was being disrespectful when he tried to have a conversation about it. Depending on whose story you believe, they get into a fight. And I guess the reason that people want to lean toward Nick Sanchez's version of it is because once Nick Sanchez was down, you saw Crafton throw in some shots to a downed opponent, which is BS. That's not cool. So anyway, big bad fight. Sanchez's face is bloodied. He probably has a broken nose. There have been reports from people I know that were there that said even on the infield care center, security had to be called because it wasn't even over with then. So not a good look. And then during the fight, a lot of people on Twitter and stuff like that have never been in a fight before are getting super angry about what Nick Sanchez said because Nick Sanchez said, I'm going to end you, and not in those words, but we're on YouTube, so I have to say it a certain way. And he's in the middle of the fight saying that. So that being said, in my opinion, the best thing NASCAR can do here is suspend both of them for the rest of the season. Because, and I know it's not a popular opinion. I know nobody really wants to hear it at all. I see 58% of you are saying no suspension. But the smartest thing NASCAR can do from an insurance perspective and to make sure this nonsense doesn't happen anymore is to suspend both of them for at least 2 weeks, if not the rest of the season. That puts an end to all this nonsense on pit road, and it sends a strong, clear message that, hey, look, you can have emotions and you can be emotional about it, but we don't want to see any more fighting on pit road, especially when the pit crews and stuff like that get involved. It gets really, really ugly. That being said, Matt Crafton shouldn't have started the fight. And yes, it's heat of the moment. We've all been in stuff like that and we've said crazy stuff, but Nick Sanchez has to know there's cameras there. You can't say what Nick Sanchez said. So it's just basically people that have never been in a fight, which appears to be the majority of people on Twitter, which is something NASCAR cares about tremendously. We've seen that in the past. they feel like Nick Sanchez was just as bad as Matt Crafton for saying what he said, because, like, I don't know. I've been in fights before, and I've said the exact same thing that Nick Sanchez said, and I meant every damn word of it when I said it, and wanted to do it with my bare hands. Didn't want to stand behind, a weapon and feel safe. Like, wanted to do it with my bare hands in the moment. So I think a lot of people mad at Nick Sanchez have never been in a fight in their life. But that being said, it's a bad look for NASCAR. It's a really, really bad look for NASCAR. So NASCAR does need to do something, whether it's 1 week, whether it's the rest of the season. I do think they need to be suspended, just because NASCAR's got to put an end to this. Like, you can't, like, every time a NASCAR story trends, it's because something bad happens. So every time NASCAR is in the regular news cycle, it's because something stupid or bad happens. So NASCAR needs to put an end to that. That way NASCAR only trends in the media when it's something that's actually respectable and good that happens. All right, so that's my take on it. I know it's not popular, and you all are all welcome to your takes. So we'll see what you guys have to say about it here. Let's see. They get Penske hand-me-downs, and Penske struggles to be top tier. Imagine the hand-me-downs. Someone got in Crafton's ear, says one wise guy. That wouldn't be surprising. There's always somebody that wants to instigate something. So that definitely could be an option too. What's up, Roofer? Hey, Roofer, says Bumblebee. I feel like there is a video or proof that Matt did throw a sucker punch. Then Matt needs to be parked. If Nick just got mollywopped in a regular fight, then talk to them and put them on probation. So yeah, that's probably a fair statement too. But they definitely need to do something, because there's been too much nonsense after the race, and somebody eventually is going to get hurt for real, and then it's not going to be funny. I mean, I know these situations are funny for most people because nobody really gets hurt. I mean, a broken nose, but eventually somebody's going to get really hurt, and it's not going to be funny. That's what I'm saying from an insurance perspective. NASCAR needs to nip it in the bud, like old Barney Fife used to say. Maybe NASCAR should set up a boxing ring, and drivers with beef can grab some gloves and go a few rounds after the race. I don't know. That's one way. Like, if you want to go full sports entertainment, that is definitely the full sports entertainment. They like the playoffs, so I see. Nick's PR person probably had nightmares about his Homestead comment. That says, say Kyle. Yeah, not the first time Nick Sanchez has said something crazy. I just feel like a 23-year Google it. I'm not getting into it today. Let's see. I just feel like a 23-year veteran needs to do better than jumping on the back of a 20-year-old man. Yeah, so that's the other thing. Matt Crafton's 47 years old. And here's the other thing. Everybody's like, oh, it should have been a fair fight. It should have been a fair fight. Yes, in a perfect world, everybody fights in a fair fight. But in the real world, if you still believe in fair fights, you're putting yourself at a massive disadvantage. There's no such thing as a fair fight in the real world. I've never seen an actual fight happen that was a fair fight. Most fights start with a sucker punch, and whoever threw the sucker punch usually has the massive advantage and wins. So in the real world, just stay on your toes. Just some friendly advice. If it's a boxing ring, why is it a square? Why is it a squared circle? There you go. That's interesting right there as well. But also, if it was a fair fight, I think fewer drivers would actually fight. It's always like, look at all the fights. They all start with a sucker punch, do they not? Let's see. Can't disagree with EB. LOL says, say Kyle. It kills Crafton's whole image. He's never had the racing dad and family. The whole image he's ever had of the racing dad and family man. Yeah, so I don't know. Like, 47 years old. 47 years old, you can kind of see why he throws the sucker punch, because in a fair fight against a 20-something-year-old, I like the 20-something-year-old's odds. Let's see, especially cardio-wise. I remember a day in age where NASCAR, this wasn't a problem, because there weren't so many young, wealthy, and entitled teenagers on the track, says Dr. Puss. I don't even think it's that. I think it's just corporate image. Like, NASCAR cares so much right now, and that's why I'm saying from NASCAR's perspective, it makes more sense to just park them for the rest of the season. From the corporate image perspective, where you're trying to attract sponsors, this doesn't look good. Like, sponsors don't want to be associated with this because it looks like redneck hillbilly shit. So that's what I'm saying. Suspend them for the rest of the season, because eventually, I mean, what sponsor other than maybe Monster or something like that wants to be associated with dudes fighting on the track, screaming that they're going to off each other? I don't know. It wasn't an insane move on Sanchez's part, but he kept repeating what he said. Says MBR. Yeah, so like, he might have been coached up on it a little bit. That's what I'm saying. Until we see evidence, we don't really know what happened. We're just taking Sanchez at his word that he was jumped from behind. By the time they got to any level of NASCAR, they already had learned their lessons on the local tracks. Says like, I mean, that's a fair statement. There's no racecraft amongst the young drivers anymore, because even at the local level now, people are just dumping each other if they have X amount of money and know that the car will be repaired by next race. Let's see. Race Move says NBR. I had no idea Crafton and Sanchez had a fight. I switched to the Michigan-Nebraska game right after the race finished. Good for Moffitt, says Camaro 58. There you go. He had more important things to take care of. The old Michigan-Nebraska game. Michigan looking, I guess, everybody's favorite to win the national championship. I don't know. I know Duke lost this weekend. That stinks. I lost to Notre Dame. All I gotta say is Sanchez only lost by a touchdown though. Has no future as a fighter because he's a bleeder. Yeah, he's thin-skinned. He's a bleeder for sure, says Mark Barnum. Anytime you get like top of the head, that thing's gonna free bleed like crazy. So anything above the nose, you get just like a little nick and it pours out. Punching is one thing, but you don't hit your opponent when they're down. I agree with you, riding with wheels. Yes, the IKU comment, it can be taken out of context. I've said it before, and it's been told to me before. Suspend them both. That's what I'm saying. Just from the perspective of, just from the perspective of wanting to get more sponsors into the sport, like sponsors don't want to be associated with this type of stuff, well, except like a rare sponsor, like maybe Monster or somebody like that could hype it up. Glockenpuss, people forget that there's still old school veterans like Crafton on the track. They can't bully and push around. I mean, I don't think they forget. I don't see where Sanchez. I don't see where Sanchez necessarily started it either way, but because at the end of the day, Matt Crafton had to walk down there to talk to him. So I don't see where Sanchez necessarily started the engagement. So I don't know. And like you said, I think somebody got in Crafton's ear and said he wrecked us on purpose. So we'll probably never get the full truth, but we'll have to see what happens going forward. BB has fought before. If you wait for it, to be fair, you'll lose, says MBR. That's a fact. If you wait for a fair fight, that just means you're waiting to get punched first, I guess, or get thrown at first. Anything after 40, you don't get up off the ground too well, says one wise guy. That's a fact. Saying he was going to erase him wasn't a good look. Yeah, that's a fact. But and you got to know that the cameras are there. But I don't know. Everybody that's been in one, like, you know what you say when you get in one, like, and you mean every word of it. So I'll cut him some slack there. But Twitter's not, because most of the people giving him hell on Twitter have never been in one. But you do have to be smarter than that. You have to know that you're a professional race car driver and that there are always cameras on, no matter where you're at, because everybody's got a smartphone now. So it's different rules than when we were growing up. So you can't be saying crazy stuff because everybody's looking to be internet famous for 10 seconds with a crazy clip. World star. You bet you one wise guy, says Roofer. The whole wreck was nothing. We've not seen there 5,000 times before. 50,000 times before. I agree. I didn't see anything crazy about the wreck, but I don't know. I don't know how it got to this level. So it's interesting. Very interesting. Boxing rings weren't square until the early 1800s. It was round for hundreds of years before. The issue with round rings is seating around the ring. If you can make it a square, you can get more seats. Hey, there you go. Look at that. We learned something today in spite of ourselves. Appreciate you there, Glock. So there you go. Boxing rings used to be round. That's why they call them the squared circle, but they made them square so they could squeeze more seats in. Dang. Dropping knowledge. We're smart now. Now we know some things. Let's see here. My question is, was Sanchez wearing glasses when he got punched? That is extremely dangerous and would explain the bleeding. Says Shah. I don't know. He definitely he's got like a around his nose right here where the glasses would sit. He definitely has a cut there. My question is, I just read that one. Crafton is washed up. He couldn't make it in Xfinity or Cup. Maybe he said drop down to ARCA. He might win one, says Alan Rich. I mean, he's a Truck Series champion, so I don't know. He was just a truck guy. He's a guy whose career ended up in the Truck Series. I don't know. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But he is definitely way too old to be fighting. I'll tell you that. Thoughts on the Brickyard 400 returning? It's pretty cool. I'm glad that they are going back to the circle track. And as soon as they have the race on the circle track, people will be complaining about the circle track as well. It's just the nature of fandom. But I'm gonna wait for NASCAR to be adults and release the whole schedule and not just drop tidbits of it. I'm not gonna bail them out for not having a whole schedule done yet. So when they release the whole schedule, I will talk about the whole schedule. But I'm not gonna just continue with this little drip of information that they keep giving us to bail themselves out from not having their stuff together and having their schedule done. So that's why I didn't make an episode about that. For those who are wondering, yes, the merch store is up and running. Roofer posted it right there. So if you want to check out the merch store, the link is right there where Roofer dropped it. Appreciate you there, Roofer. Michigan will choke as usual. LOL, says Camaro 50. They have a strong history of doing that. I like Jim Harbaugh, though. Former 49ers coach. Last time we were good before Shanahan was Harbaugh. So I do like him. I hope he does well. Shaw, we had sunglasses on. He had sunglasses on. So the sunglasses are probably where the cut came from. So that makes complete sense as to where the cut was lined up. It's definitely not like Crafton, says Roofer. I don't see where Sanchez did anything wrong on the track. Crafton left the door open, then wrecked himself with a late block. That's on him until we get a look at the full fight. I won't comment. That's what I'm saying. We're going off two guys' words right now until we get some video of the full deal. I don't know which side is telling the truth and which side isn't. That being said, just don't fight at the racetrack. Always a bad idea. Crafton is just insane for his cheap shot fight, says Evan Thomas. Our buddy Greg Van Alst broke a vertebrae in that crash. BB pulling for him and his recovery. Yeah, for sure. Hopefully he gets better. That was a rough deal. I did see that this morning. When I woke up. And also somebody, I forget which driver it was, but one driver said it was actually Matt Crafton's fault because the middle lane is the most important and he left the middle lane open. So there's definitely different thought processes in the garage about it as well. Bones with the super chat. Appreciate you, Bones, with the fist bump there. Thank you so much, my friend. Let's see. Glock dropping knowledge, LOL. Hobby says MB, what's up, MBR? I'm still a Crafton fan. He's always been my Truck Series favorite. Yeah, I like both guys. I don't dislike Nick Sanchez or Matt Crafton. I think both guys are really good drivers and probably generally really good dudes. Just not a shining moment for either one of them. So good deal on Friesen being a New York mod fan. Good to know, says MBR. So yeah, hopefully Friesen's okay. How much did Kyle get for KBM? $25 million. Jamie Schweitzer is the word on the street. I don't know for sure how much he actually got. That tire carrier for Zane is a tough guy, says Mark Barney. Yeah, that dude took a licking and kept on ticking. What was that, Timex back in the day? Or Swatch watches? They take a licking and keep on Indy each year. I think that would be the coolest, say, Kyle. I'm with you on that one. People seem to forget we went to IndyCar Road Course because the Oval was just a bad race for years, not to mention the 08 debacle. I agree. I think if you rotated it every year, that would make both of them special. And people that like one or the other, it would help pack it out better. Is Burton's renewal for 1 year? Says one wise guy. I don't know. He signed, and I do so many episodes. I can't remember if he signed a multi-deal or if he signed a 1 year deal or if they even said. I just remember he re-signed with them. So I'll have to go back and look at that one. I'm not sure off the top of my head. I'm still floored. Sold KBM, maybe in shock still. So, yeah, the biggest deal from that is he had a really good eye for talent. So that's one thing we're going to miss from that organization. The other thing is I don't think he would have sold it without a plan to do something else with it. So I'm ready to see what his next move is going to be. I think he's going to make another move with that money. So what that is, a lot of speculation about that, by the way. But what that actually is, we're waiting to see. Mike Crafton might end up getting suspended for that, says Art NASCAR. Definitely for hitting the guy when he's down. That's definitely not a good look. So if anybody gets suspended, it will definitely be Matt Crafton. Like I said, I would suspend both of them, at least for a little bit, if not the whole season. What's up, BD, says Elite. What's up, Elite? Good to see you on here, my friend. Spending the morning playing NASCAR Thunder 2004. That was a great game, my man. Racing Rockingham until the race starts. Hope everyone is having a good morning. Appreciate you, my friend. That is a great game. 04 is one of the better games. I think 03 was total team control, so that was probably my favorite one. But 04 is good, too. 04 might be total team control, too, though. I don't know. Apparently, Roper broke it up, too. He looks like a BB relative. I don't mess with him. LOL says MBR. Yeah, so actually the worst opportunity to get hurt is the guy breaking up the fight. I used to I used to cook and be a bartender, and on my off nights, I would be the bouncer there. Breaking up the fight is always, you take more shots breaking up the fight sometimes. A lot of times, actually. I'm glad Friesen is going to be okay. He did not look good after wrecking. Yeah, hopefully he's okay for sure. Suspend Baloney Burger. Suspend him for life. Suspend him for life. Lifetime ban. Man, that sucks about Van Alst, says Say Kyle. Yeah, for sure. Hopefully he's back sooner rather than later. Evan Thomas, LOL. Tire carrier fights truck and wins. Says Shy. Yeah, that truck never knew what hit it. Looking forward to your new video, EP. Subroofer, really enjoy reading your NASCAR story on my recent video. So there you go. Check out Elite Precision, by the way. He's got a great NASCAR channel if you want to check him out. And if you like the content you see, of course, give him a follow. They probably already talked it over. Yeah, they're probably both over it. Maybe like fans hold on to it way longer than the drivers do most of the time. Appropriate super chat today, Mr. Berg. Yeah, for sure. Throw them bows, throw them fists. Let's see. SHR, don't for real though. Don't fight. Not in real life. That's bad idea. Bad look. Let's see. SHR looks like they have some speed. Please, sweet baby Jesus, let Harvick win one and go Niners. Says Dwayne Mueller. I'd be good with both of those outcomes today. Let's see. Thank God the tire carrier is all right. Says William Wagaman. I'll tell you what. I was being soft and I didn't pick a race winner. So. And this. I'm just going to go and deviate from all stats and say Kyle Larson is going to win this race. And here's my thought process. Eventually, he's going to win a super speedway race. So he's got a good car. Eventually, he won't get caught up in a wreck. So I'm going to pick Kyle Larson to win this race. And I can't jinx him because he always does poorly at super speedway. So the only jinx for him at a super speedway is for him to win at this point. Thank God the tire carrier is all right. KBM sold for $25 million. Good day, Baloney. What's up, JFB? Let's see. I was at Salem Speedway. And Roofer put Elite's link there. So if you want to check out his channel, the link is right there. I was at Salem Speedway last night for NASCAR ARCA Menard Series with my dad. Said it was terrible. And Jesse Love winning the race and the championship. So, yeah, Jesse Love locked it up. I did see something crazy. It was like the 10th place finisher was Frankie Muniz. And he was 78 or 79 laps down and finished in 10th. It was insane. It was another bad non-competitive ARCA race. Bones, what's up, my friend? $25 million for that deal is a steal. Yeah, so they got the trucks, the building, just the building and the land. I feel like you could have got $25 million for, but they got the trucks, the building, the land, and the fab shop for $25 million. That's a good deal. So as badly as they overpaid for that charter, they saved some money there, in my opinion, on that deal. Check out its Elite channel if you haven't. It's great stuff, says Roofer. Here's a little hot take. I think Sammy Smith will do better than Brandon Jones with JRM. Yeah, I would say so. I think nothing again. I like Brandon Jones. I think Brandon Jones has improved every year. But Sammy Smith is in my opinion, a pretty rare talent, and I think you're going to see a lot from him in the future. William Sawalich is another one that not a lot of people are talking about. I think you're going to see some big things from William Sawalich in the future as well. 04 was good, but NASCAR 98 had the paintball cheat, says Stay Kyle. NASCAR 98 was good too. NASCAR 99 was the best one because they had the commercial with Cyberdale. Cyberdale was a good commercial. Kyle Sun has that $100 bill contract with RCR. I think that's part of why he sold. That's what I'm saying. I'm waiting for the next shoe to drop. He could be buying into RCR is what a lot of people are thinking. And I'm one of them. I just don't want to say it out there because I don't have any proof of it. It's just something that I'm thinking. I got a commercial in the middle of the show. Says one wise guy. So I can show you the thing. I set commercials to be as few as possible on these. I don't know why they're doing it now, but YouTube's being crazy. But I did set my commercials for my live streams to be as unintrusive as possible. But yeah, sorry about that. I can't control them on that end of it. Imagine hating Jesse Love, a kid trying to make it in racing. Says Bumblebee. I don't think anybody's hating Jesse Love. I think they're just hating that the series is so non-competitive, at least like it used to be. Like back in the good old days when Frank Kimmel dominated it, back when it was competitive. Who will come in last place today, BB? Oh, that's a good question. That is a good question. So probably going to be somebody that's really good, right? So let's see. you know what? I'm gonna hedge my bets. I'm gonna pick Kyle Larson to finish first or Kyle Larson to finish last. So it's gonna be my same pick for both. So I'm going with Kyle Larson today, and I hate to say that, but it's just the way it is with Kyle Larson and super speedways. I see so much hate for that boy; it's ridiculous. Says Bumblebee. I haven't seen the hate for him, but I do believe you. You're far more active on the socials than I am, so that's crazy. Like I said, every race car driver has a hater. I'll never get a bouncer job. With this Kyle Larson frame I got, so say Kyle, oh, you're good, man. You be the guy taking the money, and the rest of us would be bouncing. Let's see. I'm low to the ground and heavy, so I'm pretty good at dragging people to the ground. So that was my go-to. The taller guys, they would come up in full Nelson. That was typically the move. You come up in full Nelson if you're really tall. If you're not tall, you duck your head, waist lock, or you can do double underhooks and take them down backwards. That's just the way you do it, bouncing. And then some bouncers are just complete psychos, and you'll wish you never got in a fight because they just take bouncing super seriously. They watch Roadhouse every day, and they just get carried away with it. Hey, Bumblebee says Elite Precision. When will Bubba Wallace cause the big one? I don't know. He's got pretty good stats here. Eric Jones has pretty good stats here, and he caused the big one 1 or 2 races ago. So I don't know. Typically it's either Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is pretty good for causing the big one. AJ Allmendinger gets super aggressive. Brad Keselowski, despite his protests, has caused it several times. Bubba Wallace has made some crazy moves. He's caused one big one that I remember. Who else? There's a few of them. Austin Cindric's good for one usually. Even though he's good, like some of the guys that are good at these tracks also cause the big ones. I've seen Denny Hamlin cause the big one here before, and he's probably the best plate racer out there right now. So it's usually one of your better drivers that causes the big one because they're up front when they make a crazy move and the accordion effect. So LOL, Shaw, we all do, says Roofer. I wouldn't know what to do if Larson wins a super speedway race. LOLs. You'd be in the same position I was in when he won Martinsville. So I was in total shock. I was just waiting for something bad to happen the entire race, the last 10 laps. Subscribe to Elite, says Bumblebee. Larson admitted in an interview a couple weeks ago that he hates super speedways. I can't blame him. Yeah, he doesn't like the racing there. He thinks it's kind of lame. That being said, Kevin Harvick hated super speedways at points too, but he won some races too. So eventually, you're just so competitive, you want to win at all the types of racetracks. Then, like Kyle Busch, you want to win at every single racetrack. So even though they might hate them, they'll still do their best to figure out how to get a win for their style. The evolution of pit crew members into elite athletes has been unbelievable, says Brickyard Brickhead. Yeah, for sure. Like back in the day, it was just the mechanics that worked on the car. They doubled as the pit crew. So from that to where we are now has been pretty insane. The Wood brothers and Junior Johnson were two of the big innovators as far as pit stops go too as well. T-Van, cheers, my brother, says Roofer. I say monetary fine for Nick Sanchez. If there's proof of the sucker punch, 1 week suspension for Crafton. No proof, monetary fine for Crafton. That seems fair, but NASCAR has to do something because, like I said, sponsors don't want to be associated with this. And like I said, the only time NASCAR makes the mainstream news is when something stupid like this happens. I got that commercial too, says Jamie Schweitzer. Yeah, I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys the settings. I'll take a picture of it and I'll show you which one I've selected. But I'm definitely I don't know. I can't control them. YouTube does what YouTube does. So it's their platform. So there's only so much I can do on my end on that. That would be pretty cool if KFB took the Jeff Gordon HMS VP route with RCR. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Late model Pittsburgher 100 was wild last night. Great race, says MBR. I didn't catch that one, so that's the first time I've ever actually heard about it. So I have to check that one out. We're on the same page with Kyle and RCR for sure. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is going to happen, but we'll just have to wait and see. Bush is definitely all in with RCR. We'll see if he buys in too. I think he, like in my opinion, and it's just that, like I don't have any nobody's told me anything. But I do think it's a strong possibility he buys in. I don't think he would have sold otherwise. Do you think we'll see 3-wide racing today? Oh yeah. I'm just wondering if they're gonna run safe the first stage, the first 2 stages, and then get crazy at the end, or if they're just gonna be crazy for the whole race. I'm thinking they'll be crazy for the whole race. Who won the truck race yesterday? BB says that's fair. That would be Brett Moffitt. Young Brett Moffitt got the dub there. Congratulations, Brett. Your Brett Marks on your National Open victory, 14 and up, plus your National Open victory, 14 U.S. On your National Victory Open, says William Wagaman. Let's see here. Good morning, y'all. Happy race day. Rowdy fan for life, says Jenna Allison. What's up, Jenna? Hope you're doing good today. And Kyle Bush, he does have a good chance here. He has really good numbers. Earth 2, Kyle Bush becomes VP of RCR and fires Austin. Rolling on the floor, laughing my butt off. No, you don't fire Austin. Austin has proved he's made some good moves up in the front office. So you definitely have to at least keep Austin in the front office. And look, he's having a bad season this year, but if you look at Austin Dillon's numbers, he's not this terrible race car driver that a lot of people make him out to be. Does he get a ton of wins? Absolutely not. But he does get a lot of good, solid top 10s. So I don't know. Moffitt 1, Dawson says Camaro. Hi, Jenna says Roofer. Watermelon Man is going to do it today, says Art NASCAR. I predict Bubba makes it to the next round. So many people's heads would explode. Like, no matter what Bubba Wallace does, it's going to be a big story either way because he's just such a polarizing driver. Ty Dillon, but he made it farther than, including myself, most people gave him credit for, because I had him going out in the first round according to the numbers, and I don't think anybody had him advancing. So he has already proved the doubters wrong for sure. Ty Dillon says Mark Barnum, Ricky Stenhouse causes the big one. The best part about the Brickyard 400 returning is always find it odd when they would kiss the bricks after the infield race. Says Speedway Anywhere. Yeah, that's for sure. I think Dale Jarrett started the kissing the bricks for the Cup Series drivers, if I'm not mistaken. Let's not forget Harrison Burton is phenomenal at taking out cars at plate tracks, a true prodigy. I don't know if he takes them out at plate tracks, but he's definitely always in the wreck at the plate track. I'll give him that. He usually has a really fast plate speedway car. Let's see. Rumor Eric Almirola might be going down to Xfinity next season. Have you heard anything? I've heard both ways on Almirola. I've heard that he's coming back, and I've heard that he's leaving, and they're going to move Cole Custer up. And if they move Cole Custer up, Haley Deegan's going to the 00. And the reason Haley Deegan wasn't in the 00 this year is because Cole Custer moved down. Like, I've heard all kinds of stuff. So it's all kinds of stuff is out there. What actually is real, I have no idea. So we'll have to find out. Ricky Stankhouse is the best at the big one, says Jenna Allison. For sure, he's got the most. I don't know. He's got the most victims. I guess that's the best way to say it. EKIA and AO. Let's see here. Moffitt's mustache isn't allowed within 500 feet of a school, says Stu Fudd. Best outcome today would be Briscoe pushing Priest to the checker flag, says Matt Hunter. Don't worry about the commercials. We don't care. I know. It just sucks. I miss it like back in the day when these would just be commercial free, unless you were watching the repeat. Sanchez was free and clear with NASCAR until he opened his mouth. It's like an argument with your wife. You can't be 100% right, but if you call her a B, you automatically lose. That's a fair way of putting it there, say Kyle. Stenhouse may be aggressive, but he does he does know how to win here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Typically, the drivers that are actually good here are actually some of the same drivers that cause the big ones. Because the reason they cause the big one is they are up front, and the accordion effect is typically what gets the big one going. Run the commercials, BB. You earned it. I'm pretty sure nobody here cares, says Roofer. I mean, I run them, but I'm not going to do like when you see the settings, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And I'll show you which one I set it at, and I'll show you which one that people that make a lot of money probably set theirs at. I got to say, Matt, a Priest Briscoe finish would indicate a terribly boring race. I don't disagree with that. Let's see. Crafton has overstayed his welcome in NASCAR. In my opinion, he should be fired from his ride and banned from NASCAR, says Byron. Yeah, he definitely, in my opinion, for NASCAR to look good to sponsors, it would be smart for them to suspend both of those guys for the rest of the season. I do think that would be a smart move because no sponsor wants to be associated with that kind of nonsense. And like I said, anytime something like that happens, that's when people want to put NASCAR in the mainstream and be like, oh, look at what happened at the NASCAR race. And reinstitute that stereotype that we're all just a bunch of dummies going in circles. So that's what I'm saying. My winners pick the Cup race. My winner's pick for the Cup race is Chandler Smith. I like your pick there, Dawson Fair. That's a bold, aggressive pick. I like Riley Herbst. Riley Herbst. I think he would be a good long shot there. Run the ads, BB. It's not you, but YouTube doing it. Says MBR. What do you think about Haley here, BB? I'm going off a hunch. I think Haley Deegan will be in the Xfinity Series next year. That's what I think about Haley Deegan. Checkers of records list 5, the 11, the 23, and the 47, and I'm pretty sure she's already got that deal mostly hammered out. Earth 2, Bubba beats Chastain in Phoenix. Last second win. Steals his watermelon and smashes it. That would be cool. So Ross Chastain is one that not a lot of people are talking about here. Ross Chastain's numbers here are sneaky good. He is actually a really good plate racer. Corey LaJoie, another good plate racer. Not a lot of people are talking about. If anybody's curious how the new car will race at the Indy Oval, it will probably race just like it does at Pocono. If you like the new car at Pocono, you'll probably like the Brickyard. So there you go. They typically have a very similar setup back in the day, at least. So I do agree with you, Robert Stone. Did you like the KFB interview where he admitted asking to drive the 3? I did like that. I would have asked to drive the 3 too. Who wouldn't? KFB said the Earnhardt family vetoed it after Childress deferred them to decide. So there you go. The Earnhardt family said Kyle Busch cannot drive the 3. So everybody that wants Kyle Busch in the 3, take it up with the Earnhardt family. Austin Dillon, like him or hate him, he loves racing and his racing roots. NASCAR needs his energy. That's what I'm saying. Austin Dillon, he's a racer, man. Like his whole life has been racing. RCR fan for life, says Jenna Allison. Me too. Richard Petty and RCR and anybody named Kyle, fan for life. Unless one of the Kyles do something heinous, like the Truck Series driver, not named Kyle, but Rick Crawford heinous. What happened to Chastain and Trackhouse? They had speed last year and were competing for wins this year, not so much. They're just not as good as they were last year. They're still good. They're just not. Last year was just a really good year for them. That being said, I feel like Ross is just one win away. Ross only had 2 wins last year, so if Ross gets one more win, he will have his wins matched. The 99 car has been a little bit off, though. I will say that. 99 car has not been as fast as it was last year. Hey, crew, just bought tickets to the South Point 400 in Vegas on 10/15. Anyone going to be out there? Would love to meet up for a few minutes, says Ryan Fussner. I will not make that one, but Las Vegas is one of the tracks on my list. I would love to go to Vegas to watch a race one time. So that might be the one I go to next year that's going to be long distance. I still don't understand the hate for AD. He's a likable guy. And Milk Toast, says Roofer. Yeah, I don't know. In my opinion, and everybody that hates Austin Dillon always is like, that's not why I hate him. But I feel like really at the end of the day, it's why they hate him. He drives the 3 car, and his name is not Dale Earnhardt. So I feel like that's why most people hate Austin Dillon, but people find reasons to get around that. But I feel like at the end of the day, that's where the vast majority of the hate comes from. Unless you're an Eric Almirola fan, which I don't feel like there's millions of Eric Almirola fans out there that are just like mad at Austin Dillon for getting into Eric Almirola when Eric Almirola threw the block at the end of the Daytona 500, as if they wouldn't have done the same thing that Austin Dillon did. I'm picking either BK for the win. And to be fair, from their perspective, Austin Dillon could have moved down and he still makes the pass. He didn't have to run through him. But at the end of the day, Eric Almirola also blocked. I'm picking either BK for the win or the 24 pushing the 5 to win. That would be cool. I like the BK pick, and I'm going with Kyle Larson because, like I said, eventually he's going to win one of these. I predict SHR sweep because it feels like 2018 again. Agree, that was the worst Dega ever. Yeah, that was they just lined up and pulled away from the field. KB fires AD was an Earth 2 joke, says Shy. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no doubt about it. Has Dinger decided what he is doing next year? He has not. They have not decided what he is going to do next year. I think he wants to probably stay at Cup. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. My other thing, winning pick for the Cup driver is Carson Hocevar. As long as his car is not completely botched, he might have a chance here for sure. Dale and Richard had a deal that the 3 would only be driven by a member of either of their families, says Ryan Fussner. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then they put the vote up to the Earnhardt family, and the Earnhardt family is who vetoed Kyle Busch driving the 3. So, because like I said, Richard Childress was okay with it. Is Austin Dillon, is AD Austin Dillon? Because I agree. Why so much hate? Austin is not a silver spoon stuck up. He's a racer. He's why Rowdy is with RCR. Yeah, and what's funny about that is when Kevin Harvick made the silver spoon comment, he was actually talking about Ty Dillon, but everybody always attributes it to Austin Dillon for whatever reason. So that was, Austin Dillon, I've got some friends that have met him, and they said he's really like one of the nicest people you'll ever talk to. I've got a photographer friend that took all of his pictures when he won the 2018 Daytona 500. He said he's one of the nicest dudes you'll ever meet. Super nice guy. SHR invited the photographer into his fantasy football league that year. SHR sweep autocorrect says Matt Hunter. Yeah, I got you. I knew what you meant, buddy. Trackhouse pissed off Rick Hendricks, says Dennis Gillespie. That could be part of it too. Which is why they might go to Honda if Honda comes into the sport with Andretti Autosport. I'm just playing. We'll have to see how that plays out because Andretti Autosport's going to buy Spire, and Spire is already connected with Trackhouse, and Honda coming in wouldn't be that big of a stretch. But let's just throw it out there. Speculation, by the way. Nothing I've heard. Earth 2, Haley Deegan takes the 10 car in 2024 and wins the championship. that would be funny. Will any former championship not in contention win a race? I think Chase Elliott is going to try to win a race. I mean, he's going to try to win every race, but I think Chase Elliott has looked the best of the non-champions or the non-playoff contenders so far. So my money would be on him to win one. Let's see. I would like to see that. Mark says NBR. While any former champion not in contention. Will any former champion not in contention win a race this year? As far as didn't make the playoffs, Chase Elliott. As far as people that got eliminated, probably Joey Logano. So we'll have to see. Kevin Harvick also, as far as people that got eliminated. I tried to convince my wife to go to Vegas spring race next year, but she has zero desire to go to Vegas in general. Says Kyle, oh man, you gotta coach her up. You got to show her the family-friendly Disney World side of Vegas. So you gotta make the right pitch there, my friend. You gotta show her all the family-friendly stuff. Cirque du Soleil, whatever artist is playing down there that she might like. Last RCR championship '93, next championship 2023. Says Jenna Allison. So there you go. Rowdy going to get it done according to Jenna. Vegas is crazy. When a couple of years ago it was raining in turn 1, windstorm on turn 3, and sun on the front stretch. That's how it goes sometimes. What's an Eric Almirola? Says Sha. Say Kyle, totally get it. The city is its own kind of terrible madness. I'll go to Vegas with you. I've been there numerous times, and that's where I met Rowdy. I love Vegas. Yeah, Vegas is one of those towns you either love it or hate it. Walks and stuff. Does BB have a Bobby Hamilton 43 diecast? I do have a Bobby Hamilton 43 diecast. It's still in the package. It's one of the Racing Champions ones. I got a Bobby Hillin one too. So how about that? Ryan, I've seen many times. The only 43 cars I don't have a AJ, and I don't have a Bobby Labonte because I just didn't I didn't like the Betty Crocker look. Like, I didn't like the red spoon being part of the 43. I didn't like the Betty Crocker cars, unfortunately, except for the one Bumblebee car, the Honey Nut Cheerios Bumblebee car that was like all the way yellow with the bee lines in it. That one was really cool. I've been many times. She's never been, but just not her thing. She wants to cruise or something in the mountains. LOL. So say Kyle. Let's see. The bell will be ringing today in Dawsonville. Is my pick for today. Says Camaro 50. That's not a bad pick. He's actually really good here and super underrated there. Vegas couldn't handle me. Says Roofer. BB by the numbers. Who's going to win the race on Earth 2 today? That's a good question. To the numbers. Greg Biffle, Garrett Smithley, Josh Balicki, James Davidson, Zane Smith, BJ McLeod. I don't think he's in this one. Austin Hill, JJ Yaley. Is JJ Yaley in this one? Right now, JJ Yaley looking good if he's in this race. Allgaier, Galding, Case, Joey Gates, Brendan Gaughan, Riley Herbst. So by the numbers, Riley Herbst is going to finish last here today, even though he qualified really well. So we'll see. Let's see. Eric Hamarola says Hamarola says Matt Hunter. Also, please tell me there's going to be a 3-shaped toaster on a black zip-up hoodie coming to the merch store. I'll tell you what, We'll get there. We'll get there one day. We'll get there one day. I do have. I'm working on a three shaped planet art. We haven't come up with anything that we're super in love with yet. I posted one of them, but yeah, we'll do like a limited run of 20 hoodies or something like that for the toaster one. I will make that promise, but that's we got to get the regular hoodies going first, and the tank tops. My only complaint about AD is the mustache. Not a good look on him. LOL, says Shaw. Yeah, he was going with the Top Gun theme there, and it's been hopefully he doesn't run the mustache next season because maybe that's what brought the bad luck. Ty Dillon is not his brother. We would like to take this time to rumble for my opinion on Ty Dillon. We would like to take this to rumble. So there you go. I'll have to. I actually have a rumble. I just don't post anything to it. I posted one video to Rumble and it got a thumbs down. So I was like, well, maybe Rumble's not the maybe Rumble's not the avenue. Honda needs to be relevant again in the U.S. says MBR. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're going to be the next one in. They're the one that's going to be closest to coming in. Jenna Allison says mustache only looks good on Ron Burgundy or Magnum PI. So the new Magnum PI reboot, I think he did wear a mustache as a joke in one of the episodes, and they referred to it. The new one, he's got like the mustache and goatee. Jay Hernandez, I think, is the actor there. But yeah, Magnum PI, the OG. That's high quality TV. Justin Haley today says, Reefer, I like it. I like the Justin Haley pick. Austin Dillon is super humble. I met him at Sears Point. Also met Mr. Childress on his 50th anniversary. Great people. I agree with you. I have met Richard Childress. He was a nice dude. My grandpa was walking. This is kind of when he first, I guess, opened up the winery to people, and we were taking my grandpa through there, and he had got a frog in my throat. Sorry. He had a really old Dale Earnhardt Sr. hat on, and my grandpa at the time was suffering from dementia and that type of stuff. So Richard Childress says, I like your hat, man. And he says, thank you. And he just keeps walking straight past Richard Childress. Didn't recognize him for nothing. But back in the day, my grandpa would have been on top of it. So that was a pretty funny story. Richard Childress, super nice dude. The time that we met him. I lived in Vegas for 22 years. It definitely is not the Vegas it used to be, says Joseph Wooten. I expect Joey to be really aggressive today with nothing to lose. I hope if I've been there before, I just haven't been there for a race. I expect Joey to be really aggressive today with nothing to lose. I hope, and I really like old Vegas. Like I used to be a history major, so like I like old Vegas. I go and look at all the old stuff, and you'd be like, which gangster was in charge of this at which period of time? The Flamingo, of course. I think the Flamingo was like a Bugsy Siegel deal. I don't know if that's even still there. I expect Joey to be really aggressive today with nothing to lose. I hope if Blaney is up there at the end, it helps him. Yeah, I think they'll work together. Mustaches need to be earned through multiple championships, and that's how come it looked good on the King and the Intimidator, says Matt Hunter. Yeah, you win enough. Any look looks good. I missed the biff, says Jenna Allison. Matt Hunter, 100%. Senior did rock the stash, says Jenna Allison. Does Blaney get another speeding penalty on pit road today? Oh man, I hope not. Hopefully Ryan Blaney doesn't have any more bad luck this season, whether self-inflicted or from anything else. Brett Moffitt, he might be going back to trucks after the win yesterday. It could be. He could be. It feels like he's always bouncing around everywhere except Cup, even though he was the Cup Rookie of the Year one year. I hope Logano wins every race from here on out and loses the championship just out of spite for his comments praising the playoffs and stage breaks. Karma Joey says, River, yeah. I like Joey Logano, but I didn't like those comments. I didn't agree with him on that one. The Neon Museum in Vegas is pretty cool, says one wise guy. Yeah, without question. I need to check that one out. Like after I came back, I can skip the ads. There we go. An ad popped up and I skipped it for you guys. So there you go. I skipped ads for you. It pops up in my left corner, so I can skip them if I catch them. Let's see. Will NASCAR ever have a 43 car field again, says Joseph Wooten. Oh, maybe for Daytona or something like that. Logano, I can't stand the 22, says Jenna Allison. Yeah, I know a lot of people can't. But if you watch the 2011 video, we actually met him in Charlotte. He's a super nice guy. Like inside the car, it might be Jekyll and Hyde. Inside the car, he might be, wrecking your favorite driver or whatever. Outside of the car, he's a super nice guy. So I don't know. But I get it. I know a lot of people don't like him. Ryan Blaney and Eric Amarola are the poster dads of bad luck. Those are facts. Nothing but facts there, B. I just want Logano to ruin Hamlin's championship run. A lot of people want somebody to ruin championships run. So let's see here. Jenna Allison saying, "Ad Skipper, I'm with you there." Speaking of 7-time champs, does Jimmy have any more races on the schedule? He will retire from on lap 1. That's Kyle. I don't know. Enjoy the race. I appreciate you, Camaro 50 with the super chat saying, enjoy the race, everyone. 22 is a worm. Says Jenna Allison. Logano as a person seems okay. As a driver, I strongly dislike him. Yeah, I think that's where a lot of people are at. I think that's where a lot of people are at with Denny Hamlin. Like, they'll watch the podcast and they're like, we like the podcast until he gets in the race car and starts driving on the racetrack. I can't stand the 22, but man, Joey just seems like such a good dude and super funny. If you ever listen to the morning drive on XM, very likable about that side of the car, outside of the car. Says, say Kyle, Ad Blocker Pro works really well, says one wise guy. So there you go. But yeah, if I catch them over here, I will try to get them for you guys. So just in case you haven't voted on the poll question is up there. How long should NASCAR suspend Crafton and Sanchez? 1 week, 2 weeks, rest of the season, or no suspension? No suspension right now, 53%, 20% for rest of the season. 2 weeks, 15%, and 1 week is 13% as it stands now. 87 votes right now. Let's see if we can get to 100 in the next 5 or 6 minutes, because I'm going to have to jump off here and then go get ready for the race. Poll, which manufacturer wins today? Says, say Kyle. Oh, yeah, so we can go ahead and end this one and do that one. It is time to do another poll. So leave this one up for 30 more seconds. If you want to get your vote in, you got 30 seconds, and I think there's a delay here, so I'm going to count to 60 in my head. 1, 2, 3, all right, that was 30 seconds. Just kidding. Into that poll. Which manufacturer is going to win this race today? We're starting that poll right now. Which manufacturer? I can't spell, so if I spelled it wrong, sorry. We'll go with, what is it? Chevy, alphabetical order, Ford, Toyota, or the Trackhouse Hondas. Trackhouse Spire Hondas. There we go. 67% right now saying Ford. All right, well, actually, for once, we're going to have a moment of quality. I'm going to go over the poll results. The poll results for the first time ever on this channel. How long should NASCAR suspend Crafton and Sanchez? No suspension, 52% wins it. Rest of the season, 19%. 2 weeks, 14%, and 1 week, 12%. One extra person got in my modified 30 seconds. So we went from 86 to 87, I think, if I remember correctly. Let's see here. I watch enough YouTube. I just pay for premium not to get commercials. I wish I could do that with NASCAR. Me too, Shaw. I wish I could pay for a premium NASCAR subscription because it would literally be the only subscription I needed just to get no commercials. Denny Hamlin will ruin Denny Hamlin's championship run just a matter of time, says Joseph Wooten. So when he rips off the mask like in Scooby-Doo, it's going to be Denny Hamlin ripping off the mask to reveal it's Denny Hamlin, according to Joseph Wooten. I predict Joey to win today, says Jamie Schweitzer. So there you go. We got a Joey Logano prediction to win this race. He's got good numbers here. Denny Hamlin is the same way. Good dude outside of the car. I agree with that. He truly cares about racing. I 100% agree with you, and I respect that a lot. Yeah, it's just so funny because he gets in the race car and will do the exact thing that he was complaining about the week before. So I had to print the Actions Hypocritical shirt, which are still up in the merch store, by the way, if you want to check them out. Let's see here. Rare moment of quality. He remembers to plug his own merch store. That merch store right there has the Denny Hamlin shirts. All right, that was 30 seconds. Says Kyle, yeah. Impatient as always. Ford will win, says Shaw. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to go with Ford. 40% right now for Chevy, though. 40% for Chevy and 40% for Ford. The Trackhouse Spire Hondas are at 8% and 12% for Toyota. Let's see here. KFB for the win. Yeah, Kyle Busch. He's got good numbers here. Got my boy BB's tank top on for good luck today, says one wise guy. There you go, rocking the tank top. They will be available probably in the wintertime, but that'll be good for the West Coast. Nice, Jenna. Says Roofer. Let's see. I'm the only Toyota vote, says one wise guy. There's more than you. There are more viewers than you that vote for Toyota. Let's see here. 25 votes right now, though. Let's see here. My gut is telling me Justin Haley is going to win this sucker, says Roofer. He's had a good season. Like he's been the one at Colleague that has had the best runs. We'll say that. Jenna Allison going with the 8 for the checkers. Larson is my favorite driver, but what lap do you think he crashes out of this race? That's a good question, Escobar. Like, he does not have good luck at plate races, but I'm picking him to win, Escobar, because here's the deal. You can only jinx him to do something he wasn't going to do at the racetrack, so me picking him to win can't jinx him to wreck at a super speedway because he always wrecks at a super speedway, so I'm picking him to win. I've also picked him to finish dead last, so I'm hedging my bets. Let's see here. Logano is this generation's Darrell Waltrip, says Matt Hunter. That's a good point. Darrell Waltrip, people don't remember back when he was called Jaws. Like, everybody hated him, but then when he got out of the race, like actually his last few years, the crowd warmed up to him, and then when he got in the booth, a lot of people warmed up to him. What's the weather at the track? As far as I know, I don't think that they have any weather over there. I haven't checked my phone. I'm picking the caution flag for the win today. It'll lead the most laps. Ken's going with a wreck fest. That's what I'm wondering. Are they going to get wild for the whole race, or are they just going to wait for the very end to get wild? You've seen it go both ways at Talladega. Corey LaJoy is my sleeper pick, says Ryan Fussner. That's a good sleeper pick. I like it. How many cautions do we get today? That's a good question. I'm going to put the cautions at over under 4. I'm going well over 4. I'll go 5. Well over 5 cautions. Non-contender, former, and reigning champion. Not counting the breaks for the stages. Reigning champion, Ford driver, fits all the checklist items. Joey wins, says Jamie Schweitzer. Caution flag for the win, says Jenna Allison. Jenna not today, but he's going to win the championship. I put my money on Ford, but picked Toyota in the poll because they always ruin everything, says Mark Martin fan for life. You're right, BB, about Larson being due on a super speedway, says Jay Santos. Yeah, like eventually he's going to win one. He's actually usually got a good car there, and he usually doesn't do anything crazy bad. So eventually he'll get a win. I know he did cause the big one recently, but typically he does not cause the big one. He's just caught up in it. Weather is fine for today, says B. I don't remember seeing DW as anything other than running last in the Kmart car. Wish I got to see him in his prime. Oh, man, he had such a run. He had such a run in the Western Auto car, and before that in the Tide car, and before that in the Budweiser number 11, and before that in the Dygard number 88. So if you look at any of those races when he was racing those cars, he was good. Check him out. Western Auto number 17, either 92 or 93 Bristol. Check out Darrell Waltrip over there. It's somewhere in that. It might be 94, but check out Western Auto. I don't know. Google Darrell Waltrip Bristol win Western Auto car. Beer showers predicted in the infield, says Ryan Fussner. If we see a first-time Cup champion in 2023, who would you like to see get it? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I'll have to think about that one. 8 yellows today. I'm pulling for Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch. So I don't know. 8 yellows today is my prediction. Says Bumblebee. That's probably a fair amount. At least 8. Says one wise guy. Do we get a yellow line controversy today? Probably. There will probably be somebody going below the yellow line. I'm calculated, Jenna. Ryan Blaney. I'll tell you what. As far as a first-time Cup Series winner, let me go with Ryan Blaney there. Like Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin would be a big story too. So Denny Hamlin would be the bigger story. But Ryan Blaney being a first-time Cup champion would be huge. And don't count out nobody talks about him, but Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell is always in there, and nobody talks about the guy. Don't tell my brother, but I hope Bucky Keselowski does not finish, says Allison. So she's commenting on, I guess, Brad Keselowski's dental situation there. The way that the Truck Series is going, I see is dying out in a few years, just like the Goodies Dash Series did, says Escobar. I hope not. I hope not. The Truck Series used to be the best racing you could possibly watch as far as the touring series. DW's Pennzoil sub-driver run was fun to see before he went all the way downhill, says Center Hill Cards. Yeah. Countdown to Green just started. So, all right, Countdown to Green has started. So if you guys want to check that out, I'm going to run through these last comments, and then I'm going to jump off. Byron will be a first-time championship pick. Forgot about Byron, say Kyle. So you're right. Byron will be a good one, too. Later Gators, May Harvick beat your favorite driver, says Shaw. Happy race day, friends, says Jim. Great show, BB, as always. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Jamie Schweitzer, LOL. Bucky, I became a member of your channel. You're the best. I appreciate you like this. Thank you very much. Truck Series isn't going anywhere, says B. Let's just hope for a great race, no injuries. The height of the Truck Series was the older drivers, 30 and plus, going at it. Yeah, if it was back in the day, it was the guys that either were basically retiring or never got a good chance in Cup. That was what made it fun. The Ron Hornadays, Jack Spriggs of the world, Mike Skinners. I saw the trucks for the first time at Wilkesboro. That was the best race of the weekend. Have a good one, y'all. Hope your driver wins. I appreciate your time, BB. Says, say Kyle, one wise guy and Ken. Just were the first ones before that, and Escobar before them. All right, everybody. I appreciate you. We'll check you on the next one. And peace. Hope your favorite driver wins today. And check out Countdown to Green.